in your role as a therapist, you've experienced this far more than I, but I find that the people that have the hardest time moving on from failure and pain are the ones that can't do the middle steps. And that is I think they can accept forgiveness from God. And I think in some ways they can accept forgiveness for others. But I'm thinking of some people that I've tried to help in my personal life who just couldn't quite get back out of that cave of shame is what I would call it.
Yeah.
And I think it's because they can't forgive themselves. They can't get right with themselves. That's my experience. Your thoughts on that?
Well, you need somebody to accompany you on the journey, right? Just the other day I was in a 12-step meeting, right? I go to about 4 12-step meetings a week. I love these things. It's better than, dare I say this, right? But it's kind of better than church sometimes.
Right.
Because
it's certainly more honest than church.
Well, I've been a pastor, right?
Yeah.
So I know what I'm speaking about. Like I'm always telling people, like, do you have any idea of what's going on in your basement at night? Like, do you have any idea that of the grace and the forgiveness and the transformation and the miracles that are happening in those meetings that meet in your church basement every night?
Yeah.
Right? Like if the people upstairs could just taste what's going on downstairs and do the work that's going on down there, that they could have the same incredible freedom, joy, and peace that people downstairs are discovering, right? What you're talking about in shame, right? So at this meeting the other day, a guy said something, and you hear the most amazing wisdom in these meetings. This guy goes, shame should have already mastered everything.
Wow.
And I thought, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That guy just really described shame pretty well.
That's really
should
good.
have already mastered everything. Okay. So one of the beauties of the 12 steps is, the goal of them is, as stated, is progress, not perfection. We're in a game of progress here. We recognize that we are broken crayons, right? And we are in a progress game. We're not shooting for perfection. It's always shame that is demanding immediate, idealized perfection, right? And that is the kiss of death. And all of us, addicts and non-addicts alike, suffer from shame. It's a part of the human condition, right?
Yeah, really.
And in many ways, our self-destructive behaviors are being fueled by that shame, being underwritten by that shame.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about what an addict will do. I'll use an alcoholic as an example, right? I feel pain. I drink and feel relief from the pain for some period of time, right? Then the solution starts to cause me more pain than it solves, right? I do dumb things. I do drunk things when I'm drunk, right? And then I feel shame, which then takes me back to
the bottle.
So now we're into this loop, right? And that can be with food. It can be with, there's a list of addictions in the book. Like I can, as a therapist, I've seen so many addictions. Right. It is crazy, right? I mean, one of the most powerful addictions there is codependency, people's addiction to other people.
Yeah.
Like they just cannot get out of a relationship that is so dysfunctional and so destructive, and yet they keep going back and back. And they go, I don't know why I keep going back to this person. You know what I mean? Like there are people in this circle nodding at me right now. Like unless you've been, you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
Right?
Well, I sit there and I think when you say that, it feels like when you talked about that mild, medium or severe,
yes.
However you define that, we all have the addiction of codependency on some level.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we could say everybody.
So there's a great psychiatrist. He was a Christian guy. His name was Gerald May. He wrote a book years ago called Addiction and Grace. He's got a great quote in it. He says, to be human is to be addicted. And to be human and addicted is to stand in need of grace.
Wow.
Now, that means all of us in this space carry within us these addictive patterns that are ways of making life more tolerable apart from a relationship with a higher power, according to the steps. I choose to call that higher power God.
Right.
And we're looking for a workaround. How can I solve the problem of my pain?
Yeah.
Maybe mild pain, maybe great pain, through some behavior, substance, or thing to make my life work because I'm suffering.
That's right.
Like addictions make sense.